and we are here today to talk about Girls Fly, an inspirational event. And to talk with us about Girl Fly is Gael Sylvia Pullen. And this event is also supported by our First Lady, Mrs. Kim Barrow. And we also have Julie Miguel, who is working with us to ensure that this event goes off successfully. So we have the First Lady along with the Ministry of Education supporting Girls Fly. I'm going to ask Gail to tell us about Girls Fly and why she has chosen Belize.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having me,
You're welcome.
Mr. Burrow and Mr. Bob. And Julie Miguel, thank you so much for being the team leader for this and a successful event here in Belize. My name is Gael Sylvia Pullen, and Girls Fly is a one-day, in the case of Belize, it'll be multiple one-day experiences for invited girls and women from the local community to experience and to have an experience that empowers them and to believe in their dreams, to understand the power of their dreams and to celebrate them. An example of the activities that these young girls and women will experience will be they'll arrive at a local site. The name of the school?
Belize Elementary
Belize
Auditorium.
And we'll actually celebrate their accomplishments, because a part of believing in ourselves and instilling a sense of belief, a power of belief in others, is to celebrate each road mark along that journey to accomplishing your dream. So they'll arrive to a really high energy celebration of their graduation from 8th grade, for example. We'll have an opportunity to celebrate with song and dance, and then to also spend some time with some motivational and inspirational speakers. Quite an amazing number of activities will take place during the course of the week, and we're doing this to really validate Belize's greatest treasure, and that's all of the beautiful natural resources here, but really the greatest treasure here in Belize are the people.
When you say girls, what age range are you trying to target?
Well, this is not a one-time experience. This is actually the introduction. This also is my second trip to Belize. And the reason that I've come back is actually to fulfill a commitment that I made in my heart to bring to the world all of the best practices and wisdom that I experienced from women and men here in Belize. It's also to fulfill a commitment that I made to the First Lady in 2011, because under her leadership and guidance, she really reflects, along with Ms. Bob and Ms. Miguel, at every level what a girl and what a woman can accomplish if they believe in themselves. So we're going to start this first new cycle of generations of women and girls with 8th graders. And that transition year from junior high or to high school, where they're often lost and become confused in terms of their own value, and bring before them women of influence and other youth of influence that can reassure them and reaffirm them to keep going and not to give up. So we'll start with 8th grade, but then we have activities going on throughout the week that will include older women as well. The first time we did Girls Fly, we expected there to be approximately 50 women and girls ages 18 to 25, maybe 28. We had 608 show up, and they were ages 6 to 85. So it's really an interactive, a live interactive experience to empower and encourage and reaffirm the value of believing in that fire within, that dream. You know, all of us have that story, you know, where I think every cameraman, every camera woman, from First Lady of influence, whether you're the First Lady of influence as the mother to one, or as the mother to thousands of children, or to millions of women in a nation and men in a nation, that all of us have at some point had a vision of what we wanted to see and experience in life. And Girls Fly is an opportunity to really help shape that for a next generation. So we'll start with the 8th graders and go from there.
When you said over 600 showed up, this was the first event in Belize?
No.
here?
No.
Oh, I'll clarify. The first event for Girls Fly was in Tucson, and that was a test run. It was a dream for me that I just tested. And I think for all of us, whether it's the vision of a pediatric care unit, such as the First Lady, or the inspirational projects that she's working on here in the community, it all starts with an idea. And the idea was seeded in Arizona, in Tucson, and then from there went to Liberia, and now we have multiple nations that Girls Fly is being scheduled in, and we're starting this year with Belize.
Why you chose Belize?
Why Belize? Quite honestly, quite candidly, the influence of Belize on my own personal life and the magnitude of it didn't really come to my full awareness until my father died. And that was in 2011, just a couple of weeks before he died actually after I left Belize and spending some time with the First Lady here. And I witnessed through Project Cure and some work that they're doing here in Belize with to support medical needs, incredible wisdom and leadership coming from this country. I returned to California, and the caregiver, along with my mother and sisters and my brother, our family, for my father to the end of his life, was a lady from Belize. And her compassion and her sensitivity and her ability to care was exactly what I had observed when I visited Belize. Well, lo and behold, a couple years later, I have grandchildren, and the caregiver for our grandchildren at this moment is from Belize. Again, the influence of Belize extends beyond just the immediate community and country of Belize. So to really elevate and bring these best practices and this beautiful leadership example that comes from Belize, a small country, you know, in comparison to others, but yet in the United States and beyond, it's the women and girls of Belize who are influencing change in the lives of people around the world. And I really want to stand by others who are doing this work and influential in this work. And Girls Fly is a way for us to perpetuate that.
In the press release, I read a figure of 10,000. Is that the amount of girls and women you expect to see at the first event for Belize?
I keep seeing thousands. There are thousands of people. Julie Miguel has been working diligently on this, and in partnership with the Ministry of Education, our plan is to take this to every girl throughout the country, and starting this year, we can reach 10,000 that last week of June, 1,000 per day of school children at the elementary school, and then that Saturday we'll have several multi-site experiences going on. I don't think we'll have a problem touching that many girls.
And when do you expect to have this event?
June 24th through the 29th.
Will you be bringing international speakers along with you? What is the format that will be taken?
Yes, the answer is yes. This event was accelerated. We were originally going to do it in July, and then the wisdom of the First Lady and the Ministry of Education was, let's wait. We don't need to wait to reach girls that are getting ready to graduate. Let's reach them right now from 8th grade. So there will be international speakers coming in, approximately 8 of them who will join us. They range from business women, some of them are high school students, some are college students who will come and tell their stories. They will share their stories and what they've encountered. And I think a lot of the students will find that their journeys, they're not the only ones having those types of life journeys, but they can connect and see themselves in the broader global community and being supported and encouraged that way. So absolutely yes.
From your past experience, what are some of the common issues you find that girls face? And that you think that message needs to reach? I could just think of things I've done. A few months ago, a young lady I knew, her picture was released in some pictures, her new pictures, high school, and it had a traumatic effect. Would you all be speaking to some of these issues like this and may have this type of impacting women?
Are you talking in terms of, I'm not familiar with the story, are you talking in terms of social media? There were some
Oh,
images
yes,
released.
exactly.
Okay, yeah, digital literacy and responsibility, financial literacy and responsibility is a part of healthy training in all women and girls' lives. And the onset of social media can be positive or it can be used negatively. So this is an opportunity for us to address that. And it affects our own self-esteem and our own levels of respect within and how we want to be portrayed outwardly. So absolutely, yes, we'll incorporate that into the program, which we'll be working on over the next couple days under the leadership of people here.
Can you tell us if there will be like a selection process? I imagine that the Ministry of Education is involved in which schools and who will participate.
Well, we are targeting all schools from the Belize District. This is the beginning, so we're starting with the Belize District. And the Belize District Manager, Jamor Lopez, he and I will work out a schedule where there will be sessions. It's the entire week, the 24th to the 29th. There'll be a morning session and an afternoon session. And so we'll probably come up with north side schools in the morning and maybe south side school in the afternoon. Each session will last about 3 hours. And we're inviting all schools. There is no cost, but schools are expected to bring their students to the site. So they are responsible for their own transportation. And we're also appealing to local business people to support. Gail is already investing a lot of her own funds, so we're appealing to the businesses to help with snacks, like with juice or with water and things like that.
I know we tend to target the in-school population, but we have a wider population, a significant number who are out of school. How do you intend to get the target population in the Belize District, which I believe is very
Right, and we are going to reach those people. Jamora and I have decided, I think we've invited all the principals, and those include like the principal of YWCA. So those students will be invited as well. I'm hoping to invite the students from the I don't know the correct name on the Western Highway as well. The Dorothy Menzies girls as well. We're hoping to target those, yes. And you can help me with that too, Nelma, with targeting those girls. Youth for the future, yes.
I want to emphasize one thing that the young man beside me just said. In terms of, I think it's a right time, it's a good time that we're doing this, because last week I was listening to the media speaking about girls and the increase in teenage pregnancy. But in terms of having inspirational speakers and people who have been there, targeting some of the issues that are directly impacting our young women would be a great idea. So I know you said you will brainstorm, but I can't overemphasize that there is a need for those issues that are affecting Belize, and to make it as relevant as possible is very important.
I'm really appreciative and deeply thankful to have the input of the team here, because all of the programming is being designed around the very issue that you just spoke of. And it's having, you know what the needs are here. We want to support the answers to those needs and be a support system to what is already being done positively to address the problems. So with that input, such as yours as well, we can be assured that that's a part of defining success for Girls Flying Belize.
And then you ask about international speakers. We also want to have local speakers. We want to have like Mrs. Barrow to talk about her own journey, so that young people know that everybody has a beginning, everybody has a humble beginning, and we don't have to get people from abroad to show that yes, you can be what you want to be, because we have Belizeans who have made their own journey, making sacrifices, staying in school, you know, committing time to studying, and doing all the things that can make you be a successful person.
Stories are powerful medium to reach, especially young people. So I find it very commendable, and would hope that we could have some sustainability over time in terms of what it is that we are doing, and it is just not a one shot.
We have a company called sylviaglobal.com, and it's a digital broadcast network actually where these conversations and the messages from Belize are being shared around the world, and that we'll use that same digital technology, to your point earlier, for positive ways to keep the girls and the women connected with mentors and inspirational stories that drive beyond just that moment in that day during Girls Fly. I didn't give her an opportunity
That's
to speak.
okay. That's okay.
I'm
I don't. The media knows that I don't like to speak too much, so I'm looking at Monica. I'm very. I'm happy to welcome Gail back again to Belize. Our first, the first project we worked on was with Project Cure, when they donated some equipment to the hospital, and the U.S. ambassador hosted the group at his residence, and now Gail connected with Dr. Bab, and I had received information from Miss Miguel about Gail wanting to come back to Belize and to do this exact project, which is inspiring our young women, and of course this is exactly what we want for our young girls, and not just for our girls but for our boys too. We definitely need to push forward with that. So I don't want the boys to feel like they're being left out. We will be doing something for them.
Boys, right.
But I think right at this point is the correct time for us to start motivating our girls. And I think an important aspect is that they see in us what they can become, because they have it right here in Belize,
right.
not just
Abroad.
abroad. It's
Right.
good to get people to come in from abroad and to help us, to help motivate us. But it's important to know that we are our own inspiration.
Exactly.
We need to look at each other and look at the good that each one of us can do, are doing, and will be doing. So I am encouraging all the girls from all the high schools to be a part of this inspirational talk, the Girls Fly talk, and to come out and be motivated. It's a crucial time. It's that transition, and it can only help you. Let's just put it that way. This can only help to motivate you and encourage you, and to make it a little bit easier for you to walk down that path and to stay the course and to become a better person, a better leader, a better family member, and all of those wonderful things.